today. We're going to go deep. We're not talking about appearances, not about looking a certain way or sounding a certain way. No, we're exploring something much more fundamental. We're talking about building an inner constitution. Think of it like a set of laws inside of you, principles so ingrained they govern how you act without you even having to think about it. This is the bedrock of what it means to be a complete man.
So where do we start? Well, the very first article of your inner constitution is a creed. And look, this isn't just reciting some nice words. This is a declaration of who you are. It's about you knowing your identity before the world tries to slap a label on you. It's you saying, I am grounded, I have a duty, and my life, the quality of my life, will be my testament. Everything else we talk about is built on this foundation.
You know, in modern life, a man is basically presented with two paths. And they can seem pretty tempting, but trust me, both of them are dead ends. To become a complete man, you have to understand what these wrong paths are so you can consciously choose a third way, a better way.
On one side, you have what we'll call performance masculinity. This is the guy who's all image, a mask of toughness he wears to hide the fact that there's nothing underneath. He's trying to force dominance because he doesn't have real strength. Then on the other side, you have rootless softness. This guy might be intelligent, he might be polite, but he's disconnected from his culture, his roots, his duty. And deep down, he's fearful and weak. Neither one of these is a complete man, not even close.
So what's the answer? The true path is right down the middle. It's about building what you could call a unified human architecture. It's about being strong, sure, but also being civilized. It's about being deeply connected to your culture, but also having a mind that's open and expansive. It's about being prosperous, but never, ever forgetting that prosperity comes with an obligation to your people. It's all about integration.
So, the big question is, how do you actually walk this middle path? Well, you do it by building that inner constitution we talked about, and it's governed by 4 fundamental laws. Now, these aren't suggestions. They're not optional. They are the absolute pillars that hold the entire structure up. They are the non-negotiables that determine how a man uses his strength, his mind, and his presence in the world. The first law is respect. And let's be crystal clear about this. Respect is not submission. It's not weakness. It's a dignified regard for everything. For yourself, which means you carry yourself with a certain order. For your elders, because that's where wisdom comes from. For women and children, whom you have a duty to protect. Even for your work, your time, your place. This one law changes every interaction you have from something cheap to something honorable.
The second law, responsibility. The source material here says it perfectly. A man must carry weight, not complain about it. Think about that. Responsibility is the ultimate proof that you're dependable. It's the evidence that people can trust you with something more than just your own wants and needs. It's what makes a man a pillar for his family and for his community.
And the third law is discipline. Honestly, you can think of discipline as the container that holds everything else together. I mean, you could have all the respect and sense of responsibility in the world, but if you don't have discipline, all those good intentions just leak away. They get lost to impulse and inconsistency. Discipline is the thing that turns your values into real, reliable daily action.
And the final law is resilience. Now, you really got to pay attention to the definition here. Resilience isn't about being some tough guy who doesn't feel anything. No, it's about your recovery velocity. It's how quickly you get back up after life knocks you down. It's the speed at which you get back to your standard after a setback. This is where real lasting strength is built.
Okay, so these 4 laws sound great, right? But they're absolutely worthless if they just stay as ideas in your head. So now we move from the what to the how. A complete man doesn't just drift through his days. He has a daily operating system. And that structure, it isn't a prison. It's the physical shape of discipline. And it all starts with 5 simple, non-negotiable actions every single day. 1. Make your bed. Command the very first moment of your day. 2. Train your body. It has to feel challenged if you want it to grow. 3. 5 minutes of silence. Train your internal calm before the world's chaos rushes in. 4. Handle one responsibility early. This teaches you priority first, comfort second. And 5. A night review. An honest look at your day. These small things, done consistently, are how you forge those 4 laws into who you are.
All right, let's get real for a second. No matter how disciplined you become, you are going to fail. It's going to happen. And a man who doesn't have a philosophy for failure, he's going to get absolutely destroyed by his first major setback. So this framework, it treats failure not as a catastrophe, but as a diagnostic tool. It just tells you where the weakness is.
You have to know what kind of failure you're dealing with. On one side, there's a recoverable failure. This is a single slip-up. You missed a workout, you broke a small promise. The prescription is simple.
Acknowledge it, correct it, and get right back to your standard immediately. But a structural failure, that's a whole different beast. This is a total system collapse. It's a pattern of breaks across your entire life. And the fix isn't to try and patch everything at once. No, it's a full reset. You go all the way back to just those 5 non-negotiables, and you rebuild your foundation from scratch.
So how do you actually do that reset? You follow this protocol. Step 1, name the failure. Be honest. No excuses, no minimizing it. Step 2, extract the signal. What did this failure teach you? What weakness did it expose in your system? Step 3, and this is absolutely critical, return to the standard today. Your decision is the trigger, not your feelings. You don't wait until you feel like it. And finally, step 4, build the gap. You use what you learn to strengthen that weak point. This is how failure actually makes you stronger.
Now you have to remember, all of this internal work, the laws, the discipline, the failure protocols, it isn't just for you. A complete man is a force in his community. The real test of your inner constitution is how you actually show up in the world, for your family, for your peers, for your elders.
And a huge part of that is understanding your economic duty. Look, financial discipline is a masculine obligation. In many cultures, like the Wantok system in Papua New Guinea, your obligation to your community is not up for debate. But here's the key. You cannot give from an empty cup. So the goal is not to reject your obligations. The goal is to build a personal economic foundation that's strong enough so you can serve your people sustainably. That is what mature responsibility looks like.
So how do you keep yourself from drifting off course? You need a tool for an honest reckoning. And this weekly scorecard, this is that tool. At the end of every week, you sit down and you score yourself honestly across these crucial domains. This isn't for performance, it's not to show off to anyone, it's for you. It's for self-knowledge. It's how you spot a weakness before it turns into a full-blown structural failure.
You know, when it's all said and done, all the laws, all the protocols, the scorecards, it all boils down to this one single question. This isn't about who you were yesterday. It's not even about who you are right now. It is an active, conscious question about the man you are deliberately building yourself to be day by day by day.
And this is the end goal. This is the operating statement for a complete man. To be rooted, but not narrow-minded. To be strong, but not reckless. To be calm, but not weak. To be economically capable, but to always, always remember his people. This is the vision. A man who is disciplined enough to carry responsibility. A man his people can truly, deeply trust.